Hello aspirants, I welcome everybody on ACube IAS YouTube channel. This video is a part of our daily current affairs initiative, wherein we upload videos related to current affairs. For today's video, I have picked extremely important topic. This topic is important from prelims as well as mains perspective. Anti-defection law. Anti-defection law. This topic remains in the news. Every now and then you come across the news related to political defections. We saw what happened in Manipur. We are aware of political turmoil in Karnataka. And in Madhya Pradesh, 22 MLAs deserted their party and joined the opposition party. So political defection has been a common practice for last a couple of years. Now, before we discuss about anti-defection law, we'll try to understand the word defection. What is defection? Defection is suppose you belong to party A. You belong to party A. Okay? You represent this party. Now, you have got the ticket, you have won the election, but you are not satisfied. You are not content. You were expecting more. So you have decided to switch the party. You have decided to switch the party. This is party A, this is party B. Okay? Now, this act of desertion, this act of switching from party A to party B is known as defection. Now, let's have little idea about the historical background. Let's explore the history associated with political defection. So, around 1960s, there was the rise of coalition politics. As you know, coalition politics, so many parties, many parties, they come together and they form the coalition. Okay, so political defections were a common practice in those times. But the extreme case of political defection occurred in 1961, when a famous political leader from Haryana switched his party switched parties three times in a day. So, and this led, the name of that political leader was Gaya Lal. So Gaya Lal switched his allegiance three times in a period of 2 weeks. This incident led to the birth of famous expression Aya Ram, Gaya Ram. Aya Ram, Gaya Ram. It means Ram has come, Ram has gone. Okay, so there was this rising opinion against these political defections. In fact, from 1977 to 1979, this period is regarded as one of the crucial periods vis-a-vis political defection. In fact, the former Karnataka Chief Minister termed this period as gold rush. Why? Because large-scale defections took place during this period. So something had to be done. This practice had to be curbed. So, and there was this rising opinion as well. So in 1985, Rajiv Gandhi government introduced a bill in the parliament against these political defections. So this bill was passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. After a long lasting debate, after a marathon debate, this bill was passed by the parliament. And this law was inserted as 10th schedule. As 10th schedule. Okay. Now let's try to understand why these political defections are a matter of worry. Why do we need to worry about these political defections? Let me try to make you understand. Suppose you represent political party A. Okay? So you have got the ticket, you have won the election. Now you have decided to switch to party B. Now, people voted you into power. Why? Because they believed in the ideology of this party. Okay? They trusted your party. Now, if you are switching from party A to party B, it means you are damaging the public's mandate. You are breaching the trust of people. Okay? So it won't be an overstatement, it won't be an exaggeration if I say this is a corrupt practice. This is a corrupt practice. So in order to put an end on these practices, this anti-defection law was introduced via 52nd Amendment Act 1985. Now, so what is this anti-defection law? This anti-defection law lays down the process by which legislators, the legislators can be disqualified on certain grounds. So what are those grounds? So this is the most important part, and this part is extremely important from prelims perspective because you must aware of these grounds. So the first important provision is that anti-defection law prohibits the voluntarily, if you are quitting your membership voluntarily, then anti-defection law does not allow you to do that. It means you cannot quit your party. Okay? Even if you want to, that's your own will. But you cannot leave the party. Why? Let me make you understand. Again, same concept. You are voted into power. Why? Because you are bound to serve the people. You are bound to serve the society. Now, again, you are violating the trust by leaving this party because people voted for you because you were representing this certain party A. Okay? Even if you leave it, even if you want to leave, you want to quit this party, you are not happy, but you cannot do that. Because you were voted into power by people. Why? Because they were expecting you to serve them. Now, so this is the first provision, that it does not allow you to leave the party membership. Okay. Now second ground. Now the second ground is, now suppose you are representing this party A. Okay, so you are a member of ruling government. You are a member of ruling party. You are a member of ruling party. and the ruling government has introduced a bill in the parliament. Now you have been directed, you have been asked to vote in the favor of this bill. But you have different perception. You do not agree with the provisions of bill. So even you have categorically different perception, still you cannot do anything because your party has asked you to vote in the favor of this bill. So, but if you go against the directive of the party, if you go against the directive of the party, then you can be disqualified. Okay, so this is the second ground. You must be aware of this ground, that if you go against the direction of the party, you can be disqualified. Okay, although this, now you see, this provision violates, important fundamental right, freedom of speech and expression. Okay, so this is a matter of discussion. Various experts, they have different opinions pertaining to this provision. Why? Because you cannot express your desire. Okay, now suppose you do not represent any party, you are an independent member. Okay, so and you got the ticket, you are an independent member, you got the ticket, you have won the election, but you have decided to join some party. Okay, now people voted for you because you were not representing any party. They believed in you because you were independent. Now you have decided to join some party A. So this also falls under political defection. This also falls under political defection. Okay, now the fourth ground. Suppose you are a nominated member, because president nominates members for Rajya Sabha. So you are a nominated member. Okay, now after 6 months you have decided to join some party, like you were nominated to the Rajya Sabha and now you have decided to join some party after 6 months. You have that period of 6 months. If you want to join any party, within 6 months you can join. But if you join any party after 6 months, then you are not allowed to do that. You cannot join this. You cannot join any party. Okay. So this is the fourth ground. Now the question arises, who decides the disqualification? Well, it is the speaker. It is the speaker. It is the presiding officer. Presiding officer who decides the disqualification. So in the case of Lok Sabha, in the case of at the central level, it is the speaker of Lok Sabha. At the state level, it is the speaker of the state assembly. Okay. So speaker acts as a tribunal. Speaker acts as a tribunal. Now, according to anti-defection law, the decision of the speaker cannot be questioned. If a speaker decides that some member has been disqualified, then that decision cannot be questioned in any court of law. Now, but in this context, I'm going to tell you about a Supreme Court case, Quixote Holohan case, 1992. In this case, Supreme Court held that the decision of the speaker is open to judicial review. Review. It further said that a speaker, while deciding about the disqualification, is acting as a tribunal. So it means the decision of the speaker can be challenged. So this is also an important point, that in 1992, Quijotto-Holohan case, Supreme Court held that the decision of the speaker can be challenged. Okay. Now, but there are some loopholes associated with anti-defection law. Why? Because since a speaker has an immense amount of power here. Why? Because there is no reasonable time frame. A speaker can take his or her time. So, in that case, various committees and in fact Supreme Court has recommended that there must be a reasonable time frame. Okay. At times, the speaker does not respond. Okay. I mean, petition has been filed. The speaker is supposed to decide the case of disqualification, but speaker does not act. Why? Because maybe speaker has some political affiliation. Okay. Because we have seen these cases in the states of Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka. Now, Supreme Court said, this is very, very important. You can mention this point while writing the answer. Supreme Court said that within 3 months, within the time frame of 3 months, speaker should be deciding the case of disqualification. Okay, so this is one recommendation which you must remember. You can mention this point while writing the answer. Now, second, Supreme Court recommended in another case, Supreme Court recommended that the speaker who is acting as tribunal, okay, while deciding the case of disqualification, this speaker can be replaced by permanent tribunal. And this permanent tribunal can be headed by the Supreme Court judge, High Court judges, Chief Justice of High Court. Okay, so this is another recommendation which you must remember. Now, various committees, in fact, ARC report in ethics and governance recommended that the cases of defections, political defections, should be decided by the President in consultation with Election Commission of India. So at the central level by the President, and at the state level by the Governor, in consultation with Election Commission of India. Okay, so these are the important provisions and recommendations which I wanted to discuss. Let me just summarize the entire lecture for you. Important provision: voluntarily quitting membership, it is not allowed. Second ground, that you are supposed to follow the direction of the party. Third ground, that independent member, he was not representing any party. That independent member has decided to join some party. So that also falls under this political defection and it is prohibited. Okay, and then fourth case of nominated member. So within 6 months, if a nominated member is joining any party, he can do that, he or she can do that. But it is not possible after 6 months. Okay? And then who decides the cases of disqualification? It is the presiding officer. At the central level, Speaker of Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha. At the state level, it is the Speaker of the State Assembly. State Assembly. Then you must remember the recommendations of the Supreme Court. First recommendation, that reasonable time frame. There must be a reasonable time frame. It should be 3 months. It should be 3 months. And then the speaker who is deciding the cases of disqualification can be replaced by a permanent tribunal, which can be headed by Supreme Court judges and High Court judges. And the third recommendation is, and this recommendation, various committees have recommended this. In fact, ARC has supported this view that the cases of political defections should be decided by the President in consultation with Election Commission of India at the central level, and at the state level, these cases should be decided by Governor in consultation with Election Commission of India. So these are the points that I wanted to discuss. If you have any doubt, if you have any doubts pertaining to this topic, you can mention your doubt in the comment section. I'll make another video addressing these doubts. Okay, so that's all for today. I'm signing off. Thank you.